The European Union has announced sanctions against members of Vladimir Putin's inner circle over the poisoning of the opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Joanna Gill has this report from Brussels.
The EU has slapped sanctions on 6 individuals it believes were involved in the poisoning of Russian opposition figure Alexei Navalny. Travel bans and asset freezes have been placed on some of the highest-ranking officials in Russia, including a deputy government minister and deputy chief of staff in President Putin's office. The Russian body responsible for the destruction of Soviet-era chemical weapons stockpiles has also been sanctioned. Announcing the news, a European Commission spokesperson tweeted that the proliferation and use of chemical weapons is unacceptable and against international law. Alexei Navalny became seriously ill on a flight from Siberia to Moscow on August 20th, eventually falling into a coma. He was later airlifted to Berlin, where scientists confirmed that Soviet-era nerve agent Novichok had been used.
Russia must continue to explain itself on the attack on Alexei Navalny and the use of a banned chemical warfare agent, more than what has been the case so far. And we have repeatedly emphasized that such behavior cannot remain without consequences, and therefore sanctions were decided in the EU very unanimously, very quickly.
Russia denies that Navalny was poisoned and has threatened it could respond with similar measures against the EU. Joanna Gill, Euronews.
Our correspondent in Moscow, Galina Polonskaya, has more on Russia's response to those EU sanctions.
Hello, talks. Well, the Russian political establishment called those sanctions a provocation, an act which is completely political, which has nothing to do with the reality. The Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said that the sanctions are a deliberately unfriendly step towards Russia, and he called this list illogical. You see those names on it, some of them are some very close aides to Vladimir Putin. The EU banned travel and froze assets of the head of the Federal Security Bureau, for example, the Kremlin's head of domestic policy, 2 deputy defense ministers, and Peskov said that Russia can only regret this decision that puts at stake relations between Russia and the EU, because just one man who, as Peskov said, is considered by Europe as some kind of opposition leader. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov earlier said that Russia will answer to respond in kind, and said that it was considering to freeze the relations between Russia and the EU. Alexei Navalny in his Twitter has already responded to those reactions coming from the Russian officials. He said that Sergei Lavrov will soon have a very long nose as Pinocchio, because he's constantly telling lies.